Hey everybody, this is Deep Track Zach. I am back. It's been a while since I've done a video. Just been busy with life, kids, work, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to do a third part in my series of videos about lesser known artists. And I'm going to start with this jazz album that I got a couple of months ago by Amancio Da Silva. I think I heard a little bit of his music on YouTube, and especially the stuff from this album, and just had to get it. It is, I said jazz, but it's kind of a jazz of Middle Eastern Indian music mixed with jazz. It was recorded in Great Britain, I think in 1969. And it is actually an unbelievable jazz guitar album. There's some incredible licks on here by Amancio. Some of the songs are Ganges, Jaipur, Integration, Maharani, We Tell You This, Cry Free, and Joyce Country. That's actually all the songs, but I really love this album. Originals go for a lot of money. British pressings. This is a reissue from Great Britain also. It's kind of hard to find as well. But I've actually on my YouTube channel put a couple of videos from songs or slideshows from songs from this album. If you want to check them out, dig into my videos. So yeah, that's my first lesser known artist, Amancio Da Silva, Integration. All right, the next artist is going to be Ronnie Hawkins, the Hawk. Ronnie Hawkins started, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s, and he had a band called the Hawks, and his backing band was actually the band that went on to work with Bob Dylan and then went on their own in 1968. And everybody knows the rest is history. But this was recorded, I believe, in 1968. And it's called The Hawk. It's got some good songs on it. Don't Tell Me Your Troubles, Sick and Tired, Lonely Weekends, Drinking Wine, Spoody Odie, Ooby Dooby, a cover of the Roy Orbison song. Leaves That Are Green, that's a cover of a Paul Simon song. He does a really good job on his originals and cover tunes. Like I said, this was recorded in 68. The original issues are Canadian, kind of hard to find. This is a 1971 repress on Atlantic Cotillion. It's a good album. And the next Ronnie Hawkins is self-titled Cotillion album. This is from 1970. And the cool thing about this, it was recorded in Muscle Shoals, where a lot of legendary albums were. And Dwayne Allman plays lead guitar on it, along with a lot of the other Muscle Shoals studio musicians like Barry Beckett, Eddie Hinton, Jimmy Johnson, David Hood, and Roger Hawkins. And King Biscuit Boy plays harmonica on a few of the tunes. This is probably my favorite Ronnie Hawkins album that I own. It's got One More Night, Bob Dylan cover, Bitter Green, Gordon Lightfoot song, I May Never Get to Heaven, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, Matchbox. He does a great version of the Carl Perkins tune Matchbox. Another Dylan cover, One Too Many Mornings. Through his career, he did several Bob Dylan covers like many other artists. And he does really good country rock bluesy twist on them. And One Too Many Mornings is one of the best. 40 Days, Chuck Berry song. Down in the Alley, that's a great song. Who Do You Love, the old Bo Diddley tune. And another Gordon Lightfoot song, Home from the Forest. But yeah, not too many people talk about Ronnie Hawkins these days, but he's a great artist that has a deep history in rock music. Oh, let's see. All right, my next lesser known artist is going to be Bert Yanch. Some people say Janch, but I think it's pronounced Bert Yanch. This is an early album of his with John Renbourn. They're both British folk musicians that started right around the same time as Bob Dylan, maybe a year or two later. But this is an import from London, Great Britain. I haven't listened to this one a whole lot, but it's got some songs like East Wind, Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, Orlando, Along the Way, The Time Has Come, Stepping Stones, and it's from 1966, pretty early in both their careers. And let's see, continuing Bert Yanch. This is a compilation I got a couple of years ago called Just a Simple Soul. And it's got his early solo stuff, like Angie. That's probably his best known tune. That and Needle of Death. Strolling Down the Highway, It Don't Bother Me, Black Waterside, which Led Zeppelin lifted from his guitar licks. Jimmy Page borrowed heavily from Bert Yanch, or was inspired by him. But Black Waterside is the song. This has The Time Has Come, Come Back Baby, that's a good song. Reynardine, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. And it's got some later stuff on this compilation also. But it's a good starting point and an obtainable obtainable compilation if you want to sample some Bert Yanch. All right, then Bert Yanch moved on to the British folk rock group, the Pentangle. And I've got this album, Solomon's Seal. John Renbourn was also in this group, and Danny Thompson, Terry Cox, and Jackie McShay was the female vocalist. But her and Bert Yanch share vocal duties in the Pentangle stuff. This has a great song. It leads off with Sally, Free and Easy. People on the Highway, that's another good one off of this. Willie O. Winsbury, Jump Baby Jump, and some others. But yeah, this is from 1972, the Pentangle, Bert Yanch. And I have another Pentangle album from around the same time. This is Sweet Child. This is a double LP, Pentangles. I haven't listened to this one a whole lot, so can't tell you much about the songs. I need to give it a listen, I guess. All right, now later in his career, this is the album that really turned me on. I'd heard of him before, but turned me on to Bert Yanch. He came to Los Angeles in 1974 and recorded this album, L.A. Turnaround. This was produced by Mike Nesmith of the Monkees, who had also gone country rock. This is a heavy country rock album, a little folky, but lots of steel guitar in it by Nesmith's steel guitar player, Red Rhodes. And this is my favorite Bert Yanch album. This is a reissue. This is another one that originals can cost a whole lot of money. But this is a reissue from Earth Records. Came out on Record Store Day 2 or 3 years ago, I think. It leads off with Fresh as a Sweet Sunday Morning. That's another song that I made a video of. Actually uploaded a YouTube video of them recording it in a home studio in 1974. Chamberton, that's an instrumental. One for Joe. Traveling Man, great song. Open Up the Watergate, Let the Sunshine In. Stone Monkey, Love and Lullaby. He does a remake of Needle of Death, is the song from early in his career about heroin addiction. Lady Nothing, There Comes a Time, Cluck Old Hen, and The Blacksmith is the last song. It's a really strong ending with that song. This sounds great, and it's highly recommended. LA Turnaround from 1974. All right, my next lesser-known artist is going to be Steve Young. This is Steve Young's first foray into recording with a country rock band called Stone Country. It was from 1968. And from what I've heard, Steve Young didn't like this album. He's the lead vocalist. I'm trying to figure out which one of these pictures is him. I think it's that. Here's a better picture of Steve on the back. There's Steve Young. Steve Young's from, I think he was born in Georgia, raised in Alabama, right around the state line there somewhere, Columbus, Georgia. But he moved out to California to get into music and recorded this album. It's not, like I said, he didn't like it that much. It's not a real strong album. Why Baby Why is maybe a standout track. And I've actually got a 45 of a single that they didn't even release before they recorded this album. It's him doing Bob Dylan's $1 Million Bash. That's a really good song. I don't have the 45 on me, but that's another one I've uploaded to YouTube that not many people have heard, so you can find that on my channel if you want to. It's a Stone Country $1 Million Bash. So this, after this, a couple of years after this, Steve Young went solo. And actually, I don't have his first solo album. It's hard to obtain and very pricey. It's called Rock, Salt, and Nails, and is a wonderful album. But his earliest one I have is Seven Bridges Road. This is there's many variations to this album. This is a press by Blue Canyon, and every song on this is good. Seven Bridges Road, that the Eagles later recorded live and made a big hit of. My Oklahoma, the White Trash song, Can't Hold Myself in Line, Long Way to Hollywood, Many Rivers, Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean, who Waylon Jennings made a huge country hit out of. Come Sit By My Side, that's a beautiful song. True Note, Ragtime Blue Guitar, and this one finishes off strong too with Montgomery in the Rain. Said his first solo album, Rock, Salt, and Nails, is from 1969, I think. And this one's from about 1971, 72. And he started gaining a little bit of popularity in the mid-70s. And here's Seven Bridges Road reissued, and I think some of the songs are re-recorded. It's got Seven Bridges Road, Montgomery in the Rain, a bunch of the same songs, a couple of different ones like Ballad of William Sycamore, Days of 49. And I think this was released in 75 on Rounder Records. Another thing about Steve Young, he is featured in the movie Heart-Worn Highways that has Townes Van Zandt and Guy Clark. It's a documentary about the mid-70s outlaw country scene. You've got to see it if you can't. Heart-Worn Highways. Here's my next Steve Young. This is from 1976, Renegade Picker. Leads off with a very strong title track, Renegade Picker. Old Memories Mean Nothing to Me, cover of Tobacco Road. Another remake of Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean. The last song, let's skip a few of them, but the last song is called Home Sweet Home, Revisited. That's a good one. So that's from 1976 on RCA Records. And this one's called No Place to Fall. This is all country rock. I think in the later 70s he got a little more mainstream country, but never gained a whole lot of popularity. So this is from 1978. No Place to Fall is a good song. There's a remake of his earlier song, Montgomery in the Rain. A cover of Drift Away, the song that Dobie Gray made a soul crossover hit of. Seven Bridges Road again. He re-recorded it after the Eagles had their big hit. He does a great cover tune of Bob Dylan's Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. And a J.J. Cale cover, I've Got the Same Old Blues, is the last song. So that's another one. That's on RCA from 1978. And my final Steve Young album is To Satisfy You. This is on Rounder Records. It doesn't have a date. I think it's 1979 or 1980. And it was recorded in Nashville with all the Nashville studio musicians. Jerry Shook, Matt Gaden, Mike Leach. And let's see, it's got Think It Over and the title track, To Satisfy You, Top of the World, the old folk blues tune, Corinna, Corinna, Wild World, They Call It Love, The River and the Swan. I haven't listened to this one a whole lot. Guess I need to. But that's the last Steve Young album in my collection. He passed away a couple of years ago, kind of unexpectedly and a little too young to die. Probably, I think he was 68, 69 years old. He left quite a musical legacy. All right, another lesser known artist is this album by David Wiffen. I got this probably 20 years ago on eBay after, I can't remember where I heard his music first. Maybe YouTube or AM radio station or something, but he is a Canadian country rock artist. And this is a wonderful album. It's still in the shrink, by the way, if you see the glare. It's from 1971. I think it's on Fantasy Records. Yeah. Fantasy record label. And pretty much every song on this is good. If you like country rock music or folk rock, let's see what's on it. One Step, Never Make a Dollar That Way, I've Got My Ticket is a wonderful song. What a Lot of Woman, Since I Fell for You, Driving Wheel. This isn't the blues soul song Driving Wheel. It's his own titled or written song. Mr. Wiffen, Blues was the name of the song. Mention My Name in Passing. And the final track is probably the strongest, More Often Than Not. Several other artists covered that song. Can't remember who they are exactly right now. Eric Anderson, I think, is one of them. But I've heard probably 4 or 5 cover versions of More Often Than Not. That's the one to listen to if you want to get a sample of David Wiffen. And he's got another pretty strong album called Coast to Coast from 1972. I have that one on CD, but haven't ever gotten it on vinyl. All right, and today my final lesser-known artist is somebody that's got a huge, well-known name, Hank Williams. This is Hank Williams III, Hank Williams Jr.'s son. If you like traditional country, this is the way to go. This is an awesome, awesome album. And this is kind of hard to find. I finally got it a year ago. No, I didn't get it on eBay. I got it on Discogs. I made an offer to somebody on Discogs that was selling it. But there's a couple of different pressings of this. There's one multicolored vinyl. I got the black vinyl one. And I'm trying to remember the year that this was recorded. 2002. It initially just came out on CD, and this pressing was from 2009. But every single song on this album is good. I mean, it's bordering on country rock. It's real heavy, hardcore country music. The songs are 7 months, 39 days, Broke, Lovesick and Driftin', Cecil Brown, Lovin' and Huggin', One Horse Town, Mississippi Mud, Whiskey, Weed, and Women, Trashville, where he badmouths Nashville for kind of excluding outlaws like him, kind of like William Whalen did back in the day. Walking with Sorrow, that's a wonderful slow tune with incredible steel guitar licks. 5 Shots of Whiskey, Nighttime Ramblin' Man, Calling Your Name, and the last song is a cover of Bruce Springsteen's Atlantic City. Yeah, this is a wonderful album. He also does some real hardcore punk and heavy metal thrasher type of music, but that's not my deal. But this is one of the best country records, I'd say, of the last 20 years. If you want to get away from that modern trend of bro country and pop country, give this a sample. I think you'll really like it. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks, as always, for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.